Ten,
Standby to take studio.
7, 6,
Standby
5,
camera 1, mics 1 and 2.
3, 2, 1.
Take studio.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of MCTV News. I'm your host, Avery Pelletier.
And I'm Haley May. On today's show, Suvan shows us a report on Morinville's Capital Vision Care. Ryan Cox and Weston Stevenson give us a look at one of the many wonderful skills videos our MCTV students produced. Ben Sustrik gives us the news on MCHS's sports medicine class. And lastly, Tice Gagnon gives us a report on Science 10. But first, here's our top story.
Last Thursday, the Educational Liaison Association of Alberta held a university, college, and trade school fair at the MCCC. Students of all grades were encouraged to take a look around at the displays and ask advisors questions to help them better understand their post-secondary options. My co-host, Haley May, brings us this report.
This April, Wednesday 9th, MCHS hosted its very own career fair with the help of the Education Liaison Association of Alberta to help students get a better look at potential careers that they can take through universities in the future. Today, I'm here to bring all of the details and uncover the importance of this event.
Yes, the purpose for a career fair is really so universities and colleges can get their name out there and interact with students one-on-one. It allows us to do some advising and help students figure out what career they're interested in and the ways for them to get there.
So the purpose of a career fair is to provide information about the different opportunities available to current high school students. It's a way that they can assess not only what their own personal interests are and their goals, but also find out information about careers and different opportunities they hadn't even considered before.
While people may find themselves wondering if the event is necessary due to the recent years' use of online advertising or easy-click websites, they seem to forget other things that career fairs can provide.
I think the cool thing about doing it in person is you get to meet other people who are like experts in the area. So all the people at these booths here are like super well versed in different job opportunities and educational pathways to get there. So when you come here in person, you can meet one-on-one with people like that. They can hear a little bit about your story, your experience, your interests and preferences, and then they can give you personalized advice based on that. And it also just lets you see a whole bunch of different schools and get a vibe for a whole bunch of them all in one quick go.
I think the most important thing a physical career fair can do is it's more conducive to a human interaction, which I think is really important, especially if we're talking about careers in post-secondary. You want to talk to the people that actually work at these places, go to these places, and I think that is communicated better face-to-face, where you can read people's body language, that kind of thing.
The fair is beneficial for everyone, universities and students. There is no end to its use and wonder it brings everyone each year. This is your reporter, signing out.
Though the temperatures outside have finally started to warm up, an influx of wind this week has meant that we can't officially declare it t-shirt season just yet. We will be able to debut our summer wardrobe soon. Or is it the windy weather here to stay? Here to answer that question is our very own in-studio meteorologist, Bree Farough.
Thanks, Haley. Let's take a look at our national forecast. So it looks like up in Whitehorse and as well as Yellowknife and Vancouver, we've got sun with a mix of clouds with 11, 0, and 14 respectively. Regina's looking with some rain, mix of sun and rain with the temperature of 6. Winnipeg's looking at 13 with some clouds. Toronto's looking with storms, and I believe that says 22. Sun and clouds again for Montreal with 13. Halifax is sun and clouds with 10, and St. John's is sun and clouds with 8. And then up in Iqaluit, we've got sun and a temperature of -3. Let's take a look at our provincial forecast. So it looks like things are warming up after all, Haley. We've got some clouds, a lot of clouds, especially in high level with 8, and Jasper with 9. Sun and clouds again with Red Deer at 9. Calgary's got some flurries with 8. Medicine Hat's got flurries with 9. Banff, rain and flurries with 5. Edmonton with rain at 9. And Fort Mac with flurries and 5. Let's take a look at our current conditions.
So it looks like right now we're sitting with some rain and some sun with a 11 degrees. The wind is about 24 northwest kilometers an hour. Relative humidity is about 35%. Sunrise was at 6:28 this morning, and sunset will be at 8:40 tonight. Let's take a look at our weekly forecast. So it looks like things are warming up after all. We've got Thursday is with sun with a high of 10 and a low of -4. Friday's going to be sun and clouds with a high of 16 and a low of 6. Saturday's going to be sun and clouds with 11 and a -1. Sunday's going to be sun and clouds with 11 and a low of low of 0. Monday we're looking at some rain again with 7 and a low of 2. Tuesday we're looking at some rain and sun with a high of 12 and a low of 1. And Wednesday we're looking at rain and sun with 11 and -2. So things are warming up. Back to you, Haley.
Thanks, Bree. Capital Vision Care is an optometry clinic centered in Edmonton, but also having a wide amount of sister locations in St. Albert and even in our small town of Morinville. They offer vision care, comprehensive eye exams, and specialized treatments to help citizens improve their eyesight. Bringing us this scoop is our reporter, Suvan.
In company of Morinville's Eyeglass Services, Capital Vision Care takes part, being one of 2 shops available in town. Capital Vision Care supplies eye exams, dry eye treatment, and an excellent variety of unique frames, giving Morinville's community a reliable outlet. Capital Vision Care is open 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, but open 9 to 8 from Tuesday to Thursday. Just last week, I went to discover extensively what Capital Vision Care holds.
We have opticians here that are here to help everyone, and we always find that special pair of glasses for that person. I know we're very advanced here. We always have the latest equipment for pre-testing. That's one of the major things that a patient goes through when they first come into the office. And they travel to the States to look at new equipment all the time, so that we do have the best.
With Capital Vision Care's brilliant attentiveness to their clients, the doctor's presence supply a fun and authentic experience when it comes to identifying your needs.
So I get to meet a bunch of lovely people every day, and I have amazing staff that I get to work with, so it's a good time coming here. Also very nice working in a small town. It's a good atmosphere to be in. I enjoy it quite a bit.
I like working with my coworkers. I love my coworkers, and I love helping the patients pick out their frames. And when they come in to pick up their glasses, it's always fun having them, picking them up and seeing what they look like in them for the first time, especially the kids if it's their first pair, having them see themselves for the first time, getting them to see everything around them with their glasses on.
Finally, Capital Vision Care has their annual spring sale taking place April 10th to 12th. Clients may spin to win 35 to 50% off of frames with a purchase of lenses. Maybe you can find the glasses you need at Capital Vision Care. For MCTV News, this is Suvan.
Here are your school announcements for Thursday, April 17th. Attention grade 12 students. The Dale McMillan Memorial Scholarship is a $2,000 scholarship which will be awarded to 2 Sturgeon County residents who are enrolled in a recognized post-secondary institution and who have demonstrated involvement in their community. To learn more and submit your application, visit sturgeoncounty.ca/scholarships. Applications will be accepted until May 26, 2025. If you are 16 years of age or older, you could be eligible to work the upcoming federal election. Pick up a pamphlet in Student Services if you are interested, and contact Mr. P with any questions. Tickets to MCHS's annual coffee house are now on sale. The event will be held on April 23rd at 7 p.m. at the MCCC. To get your tickets for this night of thrilling performances and beautiful student-made art, please see the front office. Tickets are $15 in advance or $20 at the door. The weight room remains closed due to individuals leaving the room messy. Lunch access will not be available for the next couple of weeks, and after-school access will resume after the Easter weekend. If you have any questions or concerns, please see Mr. Owen. Smudge will be held in the Star Spirit Lodge every Thursday. Stop by room 113 to learn more about Indigenous culture. For these and all other school information, keep connected by listening to the daily announcements, logging on to the school's website at www.mchs.gsacred.ab.ca, or by following the school on Facebook, Twitter/X, or Instagram. As well, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel by searching MCTV Morinville.
Completing our regional skills duology, MCTV students Ryan Cox and Weston Stevenson were tasked with telling a story through video and sound, creating a cohesive and engaging video presenting, aligning with their given topic. Our students bring you this report in reference to their provided topic, receiving/discovering an unexpected message.
Man, I've been studying so much. I think I need time to myself, but how I get like good grades.
Hey you dropped your nose!
Man, why did he drop his note? Do I read it? Why would you fear uncertainty instead of embracing it? What does he mean by that?
Hey, you look worried. What's troubling you?
Oh, it's this note. A random person on the street gave this to me. I haven't been able to like figure out what it means or anything.
Well, you want to make the most of what you have and not let your anxiety and stress make you like decide your decisions and embrace the moment.
I get what you mean now. Not letting my anxiety overcome me, but allowing me to embrace it to the point that I am able to control my own decisions and my own feelings.
And NCAA is MCTV's very own in-studio sports expert, Gagnon.
Thanks, Liz. In the NHL, the Oilers swept the Sharks 3-0, the Golden Knights beat the Canucks 4-1, Jets edged the Ducks 2-1, Canadians clinched a spot in the playoffs beating the Hurricanes 4-2, and the Red Wings beat the Devils 5-2. In the NBA, the play-in tournament started and the Magic kept the Hawks to double digits, beating the 120-95. The Warriors beat the Grizzlies 121-116. The Heat beat the Bulls 109-90, and the Mavericks without Kyrie Irving beat the Kings 120-106. The Warriors and Magic are in the playoffs, while the other teams still have to fight for a spot in the playoffs. In the MLB, the Blue Jays beat the Braves 3-1. Twins edged the Mets 4-3. Cardinals beat Astros 4-1. The Padres beat the Cubs 4-2, and the Yankees beat the Royals 4-3. Coming up next in sports medicine, Ben covered what people learn and enjoy in class and how students can learn how to safely prevent and treat an injury.
Today we're going to be interviewing the grade 10 sports med class and seeing what they know about sports med. Without further ado, let's get into it.
I've always had an interest in sports and sports medicine. It's interesting how the body works. And then this gives us a chance to look at injuries and how the body can heal itself. And then we get to look at a lot of different things like nutrition and management of injuries, how to tape injuries, and then even how to make us stronger as athletes. So we do like a fitness and training program. So yeah, it's a very diverse program.
My favorite thing was learning about the muscles because that just interests me a lot.
Well, first we start to understand the basic body, so the musculature, so the most important muscles, and then we take a look at the skeletal system, so then we can end the joints and ligaments and tendons, so then we have an understanding of how the body works. So then when an injury happens, it gives us a better insight in how the body moves, and so when we're trying to tape injuries, then it helps us to get a better understanding of how to manipulate the body so it's in its best position to have a healing process.
If you broke your arm, you'd probably need to put in a secure cast, something that would like hold it and secure it properly, and probably for like 4 to 6 weeks, and you can't use it.
For sports medicine, signing off.
On March 23rd, the Governor-General of Canada approved Prime Minister Mark Carney's request to dissolve Parliament, and a federal election was called for April 28th. MCTV News has reached out to all of the individuals running in the St. Albert-Sturgeon River constituency for an in-studio interview. in the hope of helping the people of Morinville get to know the names that will be on their ballots come Election Day. Today, we welcome Morinville's Liberal candidate, Lucia Stachurski, to the studio. Thank you for joining us today, Lucia.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, so my first question is, what got you interested in politics in the first place, and why are you running to be our Member of Parliament?
Well, thank you for the question. I've been asked that a lot, and I've had to think, but I really feel that my values weren't being represented by my Member of Parliament, and I wanted to make sure that the views of the people of St. Albert-Sturgeon River were represented in Parliament. And I would like very much to see St. Albert-Sturgeon River have a Member of Parliament that's part of the majority government so that we can be a part of the solution.
All right, so then you mentioned that you felt that your views weren't being represented by the previous Member of Parliament. Could you maybe just explain to me what you feel are some of the most important issues in this election for you and your potential constituents?
Yes, so I'm very interested in helping people, and the Conservative Party has voted against things like child care benefit, $10 a day child care, pharmacare, dental care. I have 2 daughters and I have 2 grandsons, and I would like to see them be helped in this way. And I want to see everybody's children grow up in a prosperous Canada.
All right, so then on the topic of children, we are in a class full of young people here. How will your party help to address the needs and concerns of young people who are, maybe about to enter the workforce, entering post-secondary?
Yes, and Mr. Carney has recently announced free apprenticeship programs for students who don't necessarily want to go on and take the university route, but want to enter the workforce. He's also going to incentivize employers to employ those apprentices. The other thing is that the military, he's looking at expanding the military and bringing in 14,500 new military personnel. And he's also looking at growing the RCMP and the Canada Border Services Agency. So the other thing is that he's looking to expand the Canadian workforce, getting people into building things for Canada. We need to build our supply chains within Canada, so we definitely need workers and young people to help us with that.
All right. My next question is about our oil industry, which is obviously a very important topic for Alberta. How do you plan to support the future of oil and gas development in Alberta while also taking into account the environmental concerns that come with that industry?
Yes, so Mr. Carney has already met with all the premiers across Canada, and he's looking to build pipelines east to west, right? He's looking to support those projects that will move our products from Alberta to the west coast and to the east coast. And I think he's really garnered some support from the premiers. Even Quebec has softened their stance on that issue.
All right. So then this is something that's also ties into this environmental topic. With climate change, many people are saying that the amount of natural disasters is only going to continue to increase. So in Alberta, that has come in the form of wildfires. So what will you and your party do to advocate for supports for people who are dealing with these natural disasters, like in Jasper recently?
Well, recently in Jasper, the federal government has committed, I think it was like $125 billion to help rebuild Jasper when the province has pulled out. So that's one thing. But it's not just wildfires. We had a terrible flood in southern Alberta with Calgary as well. That cost us $6 billion in the economy. And so there's many things that climate change affects. And the federal government, Liberal federal government, will rely on experts in the field in how to affect positive change in the climate. The Conservative government Conservatives have consistently voted against any such measures. And the Liberal government believes in science, and they're going to look to make those improvements.
All right. Well then, moving on to my next question, little shift in topic. Obviously, there have been some challenges currently with our neighbors south of the border. So how will your party help to advocate for Canada and proceed with this conflict as best as possible for the people of Canada?
Well, I think Mr. Carney's approach has worked so far. He has stood up to Mr. Trump, and in the first 2 weeks of becoming Prime Minister, essentially he ignored him. He went to the EU to look at opening up our markets. He talked to all the premiers. He's got a Canadian business advisory group that will help with that as well. He's looking at, again, building our markets. He calls it backward integration, where we'll be using our aluminum and our steel in our cars, using our critical minerals in our cars. So he's really made an effort already. As a result of ignoring Mr. Trump for the first couple of weeks, Mr. Trump came calling because he doesn't like to be ignored. And he even stopped talking about Canada as the 51st state, and he even addressed Mr. Carney as Prime Minister Carney rather than Governor Carney. So I believe Mr. Carney is the best placed individual. He's got the expertise, he's got the economic background to deal with Mr. Trump.
All right. So this next question has also been a topic of concern as of late. How will your party work to address the current housing affordability crisis in our country's growing urban centers?
Okay, so Mr. Carney also has a plan for that. He recently announced $25 billion towards prefabricated homes, so building up that industry, and also $10 billion to builders in low-cost financing for both of those, low-cost financing for builders to build more homes. He's going to create a home building agency to sort of oversee that. The provinces have fallen down on the housing, which should have been under their purview, so it's now time for the federal government to step in.
All right. Well, now we've come to my final question.
Okay.
And it is, what differentiates you from the other candidates running for election right now, and why should people vote for you and your party?
Well, thank you very much. I had 25 years of experience in the federal government. I'm a chartered professional accountant. I've worked in Health Canada. I've worked at the Department of Finance and Secretary of the Treasury Board. And I managed the Consulting and Audit Canada office here in Edmonton for 4 years before retiring. When I retired, however, I went into private practice. So I have 12 years of experience in helping businesses and organizations improve their efficiency and profitability. And I think I can bring that experience to the table as well. I'm a mother, I'm a grandmother, and I want to see my grandchildren do well, and I want to see everybody's children and grandchildren do well.
All right. Well, thank you for coming to speak with us today and taking the time to come in. We really appreciate it. And yeah, good luck going forward.
Thank you very much for having me, and I really appreciate your questions. Thank you.
Coming up, we hope you packed your safety goggles because Gagnon will be taking us to the lab in this next report. In Science 10, students learn all about chemistry, biology, and physics, and they get to perform some experiments along the way.
Hello, I'm here to interview Mr. King and some of his students in his Science 10 class. We're going to take a look in the lab and see why some people could be more interested in sciences.
I really enjoy biology, and like I enjoy all the subjects, but I really enjoy biology because I get to learn how everything is made up, like what makes up plants and animals and humans and everything that like makes up life.
I like science because it helps me make sense of the world around me. It's not just about facts or formulas, it's about curiosity and discovery. I think science gives you a chance to find real answers to things and learn about how things work, like in bio or chem and physics.
Students seem to enjoy science a lot and have different likes about the class between units or just what they find interesting. Let's hear some thoughts about science from Mr. King instead.
I enjoy all parts of science. Obviously, physics is my favorite in terms of like a subject. But I think I like teaching science the most because it definitely gets people to think curiously and critically about the world around us. It's kind of nice to know how things work. And I think that's why I like teaching science the most.
We heard Mr. King's thoughts about science and why he enjoys teaching science, but let's hear more about how the lab works and why students seem to enjoy the lab the most.
I really like having the chance to go hands-on with like projects and stuff I'm actually learning about, because it gives me a chance to like see with my eyes how things work, and because I'm a visual learner.
Teaching lab is so important because it gets the students hands-on with the science. It grounds the knowledge that we're learning in the classroom, the theoretical knowledge that we're seeing. And I think it's a lot more fun and engaging for the students to participate in what science that they're actually doing.
The Science 10 class seems very interesting and fun, and the lab seems like a new opportunity for students to have more hands-on projects. This is Tice Gagnon signing off.
And that's it for another episode of MCTV News. Join us on Friday, March 25th for our next broadcast, where we will be bringing you pieces on the high school boys badminton team, Art 10 2030, Part 2 of our coverage on the ELAA post-secondary fair, and the April Fool's prank MCTVers pulled on Mr. Bautestein, what we're calling Project Burgundy. As well, we will be bringing you an exclusive interview with federal election candidate for the NDP, Dot Anderson. All this, plus your weekly weather update and sports recaps coming up next week. All right, Haley, so we've got a nice long weekend for Easter.
Yeah.
You got any plans for that?
I get to go see my baby cousin, and that's like pretty much it. Maybe eat food. What about you?
Pretty much same here, hanging out with the family, having a couple Easter dinners, so yeah,
Yep.
should be good.
Nice stuff. From all of us at MCTV News, I'm Haley May.
And I'm Avery Pelletier. Thanks for tuning in.